Hello, my friends. Welcome back, and welcome to any newcomers who have joined us. And those might be from Mary's Nest. I want to thank Mary so much for once again mentioning my channel, and I did have so many women come over and subscribe and comment, and I want to thank you all, welcome all of you, and Mary, sweet Mary, thank you again. In this video, I'm also sharing some of the Amazon finds that came recently, including this necklace and matching bracelet. Remember that senior day at the thrift store that I had last week? Well, I couldn't get all my treasures in to show you, and I've shown you the rest of them today. One that I consider a rather valuable treasure too. So I think you'll like all of them. There is some more jewelry, of course. Every time I go there, I have to get it. I'm also talking about a little bit about collecting. What the scientific reason behind many of us who just love to visit yard sales and garage sales and thrift shops and just collect and collect antique shops. There is something to that. So stay tuned for all of this. I think you'll enjoy it. Mary's channel has almost 1 million subscribers. Yes, I said 1 million. So obviously she is a well-liked. If any of you have never watched Mary's Nest, it's the most wonderful channel all about food. And Sweet Mary, as she calls herself, and everybody else calls her that, and she definitely is that, she calls herself the modern pioneer. And she will show you how to make anything from fresh foods. She talks about the well-stocked pantry and anything you want to know about food. Go to Mary. Well, Mary, for the second time, gave me a shout out. This time it was on her commentary page. And she happened to like a part of one of my recent videos where I talked about now that Moosey and I are growing older, we still love to see family, but we prefer a slower type of a life. When we go away or when we're with family, for instance, when we were up in Bear Hollow Inn with Billy and Bonnie, we didn't want to necessarily go on all the day trips that we did 3 years ago. We wanted to stay and enjoy the beautiful nature and surroundings, the river, and enjoy our family. And Mary evidently related to that and talked about her own parents, and that's what evolved with them when they went on vacation. I went out to the garden early this morning, and I just can't help taking videos of my sprouting garden. Everything is coming up, from mums to lilies to, and I've put some more videos on for you just to see the evolving garden. I don't know what this year, but it is magnificent. Very overcrowded, but beautiful. Asiatic lily, different colors. Isn't that amazing? You saw a lot of my pink roses in the bouquet on the fireplace. They seem to be drooping heavily with the wetness. And all my little vincas and marigolds, pepper plants are bearing peppers. They're all thriving, doing okay with the perla. looks like maybe the poppies might be nearing the end of their bloom. I see a lot of spent up. Here's one that's coming. This is what they look like, a droopy thing, and then the beautiful flower will come out. There's a few more. I've picked a lot of the pods. These are the spent pods that I picked yesterday from the poppies. And once the poppies bloom, then the flower itself turns into this. Now inside these pods are seeds, and you have to wait until they get to this stage. They have to dry out, and I've had these for quite a while that I kept from the last blooming. And then you can open them up and sprinkle them, and they'll come up again the following year. So that's the story on these beautiful poppies. They just keep coming and coming, and they are from Idaho. I wanted to show you my new Amazon jewelry, which just arrived. Do you remember that blue beaded bracelet with the big wooden buckle? Well, I found out that that bracelet had a match. Bracelet had a necklace. You hear my bells, it's windy. So I went on Amazon, and lo and behold, there it was. And I bought the set. It came with its own bracelet for practically the same price as I paid the bracelet for. So isn't it pretty? It's different colored beads. Once again, you can get, I think the set was either $18.99, believe it or not. So it has the buckle. This time the buckle is a lighter color wood, and the bracelet matches. And these beads that I chose are more of a tan colored, and so pretty. So I didn't wear earrings with it because I figured it might be too much. So that's part of my haul. The rest of it, I'll show you inside. Now, one of my other little finds at the thrift shop, and I'm going to call it a treasure because I really think it is this beautiful little, well, it's not little, it's about 1.5 feet high, maybe not quite 1.5 feet, but at least a foot, and has a little birdie on top, if you can see. Let me turn it. It twirls around like a merry-go-round, and can you guess yet what it is? Has a little dish at the bottom, and look at this. Isn't this beautiful? It twirls around. I'm going to try and twirl it. Let me twirl it from here. And it's an earring holder. It has all these little holes on each level, 3 levels down, and then hooks on the bottom for all my hoops. So, as you know, I love my earrings. Isn't this cute? So this was a find, and this was just a couple of dollars too. So cute. Now all I need is the room to be able to put all this stuff. You know, I do have a few other things to show you in the way of the jewelry line, as if I needed it. But you know, that's not the point. Someday we're going to discuss what's behind collecting. And believe it or not, it has something to do with your brain. It's not bad, but it's a scientific thing. So we'll talk about that another time. But what did I want to show you? Oh, look at this cute bracelet. Now this actually goes with my outfit today, doesn't it? It's kind of a tortoiseshell type bracelet. I don't know whether I showed you this before. I did this, I think I might have gotten this before last, but it has a ring to match. And I have one other, believe it or not, this is in the shape of a heart, and it's the tortoiseshell, which matches my glasses. The other ring that I found, and these are all obviously costume jewelry. Every once in a while you get something that's not costume, and it's what I call a kook. And once in a while I have found some things that are more in the more valuable jewelry line. But these are costume. And this is a cute ring. It's a color that I don't really have. I think I do have a tennis dress. That's what you call a t-shirt long dress in this color. It's an olive green, pretty. And I do like the color, but I don't seem to wear it too much. But I thought you'd like that one. Now, I did get, as you know, I've worn this with this ring. And it's that turquoise costume jewelry look. It's not turquoise. Well, this probably is little turquoise stones, but this is not. But I did find a necklace that goes with it. Matchy matchy. And it's a little piece of turquoise colored stone on the bottom. And then the beads are very pretty. There's different kinds of beads, amber beads and turquoise color beads all the way up. And so now I have a full set to match this. So I think that's all my jewelry haul. Let's see. Yes, it is. So this, I think, is my biggest treasure of quite a few past and present thrifts. This is, as you can see, and it is maybe, I'd say, almost 3 feet long, a barometer, a wooden barometer. It has a thermometer down here. It has the barometer up here, beautifully carved wood. And this, I don't know what it is. You might know what that is. That's something a little different. But the fun part of this is when I turned it over, there was a little book, obviously very, very old. The pages are all yellowed. And in here, this clock was made in Germany. And there are directions in 4 different languages, including English, by the way. Unfortunately, the top page is torn off, so I'm still having troubles trying to figure out what year this was made. Obviously, it's very old, and I'm going to see if it works. I think I might have a place for it hanging on that. Remember where I had that, it was a kind of a gas light up there, and I couldn't get it back up again. I have that ugly hook, so I might put it up there. And look at the pretty carving on it. Isn't it beautiful? And I think by the time I got my 30% discount, I probably paid about $12 for this. Isn't this great? So, as I say, I watched this TED Talk on YouTube. I don't know whether you ever watch them, but it's a series of people who give a talk to an audience on any specific subject that maybe they want to, or that they're skilled in, or whatever. And this particular man, Daniel somebody rather, I can't remember, did a talk on what is the scientific theory behind collecting things. And that doesn't necessarily, well, that could include hoarders. Now, I don't put myself in that category because I don't have the garbage on the floor and the old newspapers and everything. But I have loved collecting ever since I was probably a child. I loved trading cards. That's what we did. We brought them to school every day, and you collected series and matches and so forth and so on. And I think at one point I even brought a dead bluebird home, and I loved it so much that my mother had it she took it to the taxidermist, and we had it stuffed. So I didn't want to get rid of that. Various other things. And I could tell you things that I've collected. But he had a very interesting theory. I don't think it was his theory. It was a proven theory that your brains are wired to collecting. Almost everybody. And even though you might not think you're a collector of things, possibly think about your habits, and you might be. And by the way, we are not the only species who are collectors and gatherers. What about the pack rat? He stores food, sticks it in his jowls, and saves it for another day. The magpie, that beautiful bird, He is attracted to bright, shiny objects of any kind, jewelry or anything bright, and he brings that back to his nest and he just collects it. There are several other animals. Most rodents are collectors of various things that they bring back to the nest. In fact, people have found really unusual things that animals and birds, all kinds of animals. And this fellow even went back to the caveman days and the collections of things that they did, particularly food that they saved in the caves because they never knew when their next meal was coming. So actually, I'm not a phenomena with my collecting, but then again, someday I might want to talk about collecting in these years, which to me, I'm starting to think is kind of crazy because I don't know anyone in my family who I keep thinking might enjoy some of my collections. Now, I know the jewelry will go over big, but what about all these other things that I have collected over the years? Will they love them? Possibly not. So maybe it's time, and I'm not going to say that word stop, because I don't think my brain is ready for it. So, are you a collector? If you are, tell me what you collect, if anything. Moosey and I have a lot to look forward to this coming week. Tomorrow, we have Bevan's graduation from grade school. And Bevan, I've spoken to you before about Bevan. You've seen her. Bevan is one of our great-granddaughters. In fact, she's the oldest. She's 14 now, and she's going off to high school. And she's the one with a beautiful heart and soul. You saw her singing to Moosey when he was in the hospital. She plays sports. She's had straight A's in school, and she's won awards. I'm so proud of her. And Moosey and I will be attending her graduation tomorrow in the morning. And then Dane, our grandson, Mikey's oldest child, down in San Diego, is also graduating from grade school. And he's the one that's our trumpet player. And he has had several concerts that we've missed. And we wanted to try and get to his graduation and a concert where he actually has solos. He's so good. And Mikey has helped us. This weekend, he graduates, and he also, on Monday night, I believe, no, Sunday night, on Sunday night, Dane has a jazz festival where he will be playing at a concert. I think it might be outdoors, and we will get to see that. And on the way home, Monday, we'll stay overnight. On the way home, we will be stopping halfway home as we're heading up from San Diego to visit two little great-granddaughters, little ones, Tegan and Hayden. I think Hayden is now 5 and Tegan is, what is she, 8 now? Something like that. Anyway, I have to remember to wear some fabulous jewelry because every time little Hayden, from the time she was 3 years old, after I would get my big hug when I'd come in the door, she'd check out, what earrings are you wearing today? Let me see your rings. She is so attracted to jewelry and clothes. So cute. So I will have to remember to wear something extra special. So we're excited. This is wonderful for us. We have not seen a lot of these great-grandchildren for some time now. We're getting anxious. And that brings me to something I was going to talk about, and it will be definitely the next video. And it's all about aging as you age, how we feel in the way of perhaps feeling somewhat invisible at times, perhaps unwanted, and everyone's situation is going to be different and maybe not needed anymore, and how it affects us and how we cope with certain situations that you might be in. And that will be the next video. I didn't want to include it in this because this was varied and I had other things I wanted to share. So don't forget to watch, and that will come out over the weekend, either Saturday or Sunday, maybe Sunday morning, because we will be leaving very early on our road trip to San Diego, early Sunday morning. I know that a lot of you love to see all the little collections. Everybody's a thrifter, it seems, because you all love the thrift shop videos. And although I didn't get too much this time, maybe I did, come to think of it, because I shared those cake plates. Those were cute. Maybe in the next video too, I will also make that 3-ingredient yogurt cake and put it on that nice little small pedestal. The pedestals can be used for so many things, especially if you're going somewhere and you're bringing a dessert. It always looks so much nicer when it's up on top of a pedestal, especially things like trifles and pretty cakes or cupcakes. So I just love all the comments. I know that many of you have commented and are interested in the video that I will be doing about aging and feelings and loneliness and invisibleness. And you know, I've been doing some research, and I've found out that there are other women, interesting women that you know, that have been interviewed on television about this subject. And evidently it's becoming a subject that perhaps our present culture is starting to think more about and going to try and do something about this. So there are good coping mechanisms and probably some help on the way and some validation for our feelings, and that's important. So thank you once again. I just love you all. So share and subscribe. Anyone else who is interested in, I'm going to say, pro-aging. It's a different stage of life, especially when you reach your 70s and 80s. Now, I know that we have a lot of women who have joined us who are in their 50s and 60s, and even some in their 40s. And, you know, when I was that age, I loved to listen to the older ladies. You know, you can learn a lot from us, believe it or not. We have had some experience in this world with a lot of things. Goodbye for now. Sending all my love. God bless us all. Till next time.